Hi, hello, I'm Sam Harrison. I read, review and discuss fantasy and science fiction books, and today I would like to talk to you, that means you, if you're thinking about starting a Booktube channel. So I've made a few Booktube 101 videos before, so videos in terms of how to make Booktube videos, why you should start a channel. And I had an idea the other day because I've been seeing a few people in the Discords and stuff that I'm in who are talking about how they are looking for ideas on what to do for videos. So I thought that I would do what I think are the 10 essential videos or video types that every single Booktube channel should do. So, number one, and this is the most important one, if you haven't done this, I really think you should, and that is the Booktube newbie tag. Now, if you haven't done the Booktube newbie tag, you might be thinking to yourself, what is it? It's pretty simple. Booktube newbie tag is just a list of questions that can help people understand you and your taste in books. And the Booktube newbie tag is really good for helping people who are looking for new booktubers to find you. One of the big things that's helped my channel grow and that's helped a lot of my friends' channels grow is collaborating and appearing on bigger channels. And the way that bigger channels, at least, you know, the ones that I have been on and have been friends with, have found my channel is through my Booktube newbie tag. So I've been on Matt's Fantasy Book Reviews channel, I've been on Philip Chase's channel with a live stream and a pre-recorded video, and both of those guys have, like, you know, I think Philip's got 42,000 subs and Matt's got, like, you know, I actually haven't paid attention. I only know Philip's because I was on the 42,000 sub stream. But also, I spent hours looking through Booktube newbie tags to try and find people to join a collaboration of people who had started their channels last year. And that's how I made friends with Ross and Laura from Hardy's Books, and they're now some of my best Booktube friends. And when I think about people who I want to chat with about books, they're some of the first people on the list. I also found the same thing with Matt from Basque in the Story, and we've done like 9 videos together about Wheel of Time, so there you go. Next up, I'm going to say something now, which is that booktubers should do reviews. I love book reviews. I love watching people just gush about the books that they love. I love watching people give constructive criticism on the books that they didn't like. And I do think that book reviews are an essential part of Booktube. They don't do well once you get a bit bigger. So book reviews, when you are a small channel, will often be one of the best ways for people to find you, because they'll be like, oh, I want to read a review of Jade Legacy. And if you have your review of Jade Legacy, they might come across you, have the same opinion on the book as you, and be like, well, I'll keep an eye out for this person's channel. 99% of viewers do not subscribe to the first video of yours that they see, but the more and more that they see, the more likely they are to subscribe to the channel. So if you're trying to grow the channel, especially in the early days, reviews are a fantastic way to do that. I think reviews are also a great way to hone your craft of talking about books. I think I've got a lot better at talking about books over the time that I have been doing this. I do have a background in media criticism from before starting the YouTube channel. And I've also done podcasting and things like that. So I might have started my reviews process with a bit of a leg up on some, but honestly, there is no time like the present. Just get started and learn on the job. Don't worry about making great reviews for your first, 20 of your review videos. Just make those videos, say what you feel, be honest about your thoughts about books, and people will watch, I promise. Number 3 is something that I very rarely do, which is book hauls. book hauls are really popular on Booktube because they are a fantastic way for people to see your thoughts on like 10 books. And they're always going to be non-spoiler thoughts because it's a haul video, so you've likely never read it. Book hauls are almost universally popular. I often don't do many book hauls because I basically only buy like 2 books a month. So I don't want to just do a monthly book haul where it's like, here are the 2 books I bought, you know, like that's not interesting for anyone. And one of the big things that you need to think about when it comes to making these essential video types and essential videos is that you need to think about the value that you're providing. So the value is pretty obvious in most of these. So Booktube newbie tag, you're helping someone understand your taste. The reviews, you're telling them whether a book is worth their time. Book hauls, you're showing them a ton of books and giving them a really strong window into your views on those books, but also possibly helping them find their next read. My next recommendation is if you read using an e-reader like a Kindle, or I personally use this, which is the Books Go Color 7. I've got my cool Wheel of Time screensaver here. If you read on an e-reader, do a review. So e-reader reviews are really popular, and I have reviewed every e-reader that I've owned once I've owned it for like 4-6 months sort of time, to make sure that I really am completely and utterly got the grips of the device. I'll be reviewing this one probably next month. And those videos are not only the most successful on my channel by a country margin. So my most viewed video is my Kindle Scribe review, which has 13,000 views. It might be 14 now actually. And the most popular video that I've done in the last month has been my Kindle Paperwhite review, which has 2,000 views, which is really impressive for my channel, which I would say gets between 1 and 250 views per video. Not one view, but like up to 250 views per video, I would say is the usual. I would say that's a good performing video, but the e-reader reviews are getting views in the thousands, and those views don't just give you views, which are important. They give you watch hours, which again, very important. You need 4,000 watch hours to monetize your videos and start taking a percentage of the money that YouTube is already gaining from people watching your videos and just keeping 100% of it for itself. So if you want to get a little piece of that, you need to monetize, and to monetize you need 4,000 watch hours. I reached that way before I got 1,000 subscribers, but it is actually really hard for some people to get to that 4,000 mark. And then finally, I've gotten a lot of subs from my Kindle videos. So I would say I have currently like 1,100 subscribers, and I would say at least 150 have come from Kindle videos, so like over 10%. So if you're thinking like, oh, why would I make a Kindle video? I'm not a tech channel. But you can talk about it in the frame of how you use your device. So that is my massive recommendation to you. If you haven't thought about doing that, it's really good. It's great for the channel, and it's great for your viewers who might be considering buying the device that you're looking at. Next up, and this is kind of a no-brainer, but you should be doing a top list. So is this a top 5, which is what I started the channel with, because I didn't feel like I had 10 fantasy series that I was really strong and in love with. But I think in an ideal world, you want to be doing a top 10. So top 5 or top 10 fantasy books, fantasy series. If you aren't a fantasy reader, pick your favorite genre, or you could just say my top 5, not top 10 books, my top 5 books. So if you're interested in, if you've been reading for a while, you've probably got a list of favorites in your head. Rank them up and start chatting about them. This provides the value to your viewers that you're talking about a lot of books. These are also going to be books that you love, and so you've got a lot of nice things to say about them, and people just love top 10 lists. They're incredibly popular, so if you haven't made one yet, that should be something you consider doing in the first few months of having your channel, I would say. Next up, collaboration clip shows. So you have probably seen from other booktubers a compilation of video clips that's like 1 minute of what was your best book of 2023 or whatever. I was a part of one of those with Matt's Fantasy Book Reviews. I've also done some for other channels, and the Matt's Fantasy Book Reviews one, for example, got like 30 subs in a couple of days coming to my channel, which was a lot back then in like November time. I was getting like 50 a month or whatever, so getting 30 in a week was insane. You can make these yourself, and this is what the Booktube newbie tag is good for. So if you are starting your channel, then you can go out and go like, okay, who's started their channel in the same time frame as me, and you can put your own compilation together, and then all of you share that video, bish bash bosh, loads of views onto your channel, and you're also helping your fellow booktubers grow their channels as well. Literally no downside, and it's also providing value to your viewers in that you're going to be talking about a lot of books that everyone loves. Next up, spoiler discussions. I love a spoiler discussion. Sit down with a buddy, read a book together, and then go fully deep dive into it. I often prefer to watch, personally, full spoiler reviews, but non-spoiler reviews are much higher performing on YouTube. So I always make non-spoiler reviews, but that does leave it open to have the full spoiler discussions, and I think that just being able to have a chat with a friend about a book that you guys both loved or hated, I guess, is just a fantastic way to pass an evening. And it isn't super difficult to do these sorts of streams and like recorded video calls. You can use loads of different services like Zoom or StreamYard. I actually record mine with Discord and OBS, but I am looking into a different solution, hoping to get something that is a bit more visually interesting, but I just don't want to have to pay through the arse for it. So next up is number 8, author interviews. Now, I would massively recommend reading self-published books. Self-published books have a really strong community around them. I love self-published books, and the other thing that's of a massive benefit is that for you and for your viewers is that self-published authors love going on channels and talking about their books. I have had like 5 or 6 self-published authors come on the channel over the last year, and every single time the conversation's been really fun. I've loved talking to people about the books, about the things that they love. The one big thing I would say is make sure you've read the books. Don't just read book 1 and then, like, if it's like book 1 of a 5-book series, if you read book 1 and then invite that person on your channel, my personal suggestion is just try and read everything from their main series. Like JCN Byrne and I were chatting back and forth for months as I worked my way through his books before I was able to have him on. So that's my big recommendation. Try and do author interviews with your self-published authors, and make sure you've read as many of their books as you can. I think that that's a great way to grow the channel because the author then shares your interview. It's great for your audience because then they get to see a bit of your personality, slightly less filtered and edited than it might be in a big YouTube video. And you also get to provide access to those authors to your audience. So again, everybody wins. TBRs and future reading plans. So I have actually stepped away from TBRs recently. I was making a monthly TBR for the entirety of the first 10 months of my channel, and then my reading productivity took a real nosedive when we had a second kid, and there's nothing wrong with that at all, but I have found it very, very hard to stick to a TBR ever since. And I think that for the way that my life is currently, TBRs don't really work. But I always like to make videos about future reading plans. So I've made a video about what big series I'm going to read after I finish reading Wheel of Time. And that isn't a TBR, that's just like, these are the series I'm considering to read next. You can do videos that are like the top 10 horror books I want to read, the top 7, thrillers that I want to read in 2025. Future reading plans videos don't have to be concrete TBRs, but they are big lists of books. And what do people love? Big lists of books. Finally, I want to talk about one thing which is kind of in theme with the spoiler discussions, which is buddy reads. Buddy reads are really fun, especially if you try and read the book at the same time so that you can message back and forth. So you can be like, oh, I've got to this amazing bit and I've got to that amazing bit. And buddy reads are also a great way to grow your channel because you are, collaborating with another YouTuber, and as we know, that's one of the best ways to grow your channel. Oftentimes you will see, especially YouTubers who do TBRs, find someone who's like similar level of channel to yours, and reach out if they are reading a book and be like, hey, I have a channel, I would love to do a buddy read with you for this book, maybe we could do a video together. You could even do a spoiler discussion. So I'm actually doing a buddy read with Andrew Watson next month, and he's got a much bigger channel than mine. We just happen to have made friends over the last year, but I've done buddy reads with people like Ross and Laura from Hardy's Books. We had a couple of really good buddy reads that I really enjoyed. Ross came on the Wheel of Time read along with me and Matt, and that was really good. Well, he only came for one book, but he picked a good book because it was a really good one. It wasn't, the next one in the series is one of the most well-loved, best ones, but that's also like 1,500 pages, so probably wasn't interested in that one. But buddy reads are a fantastic way to do tons of things. 1, grow your audience by collaborating with others. 2, make friends on Booktube and bring people from your channel to their channel, which again benefits everyone because your viewers get a new Booktuber to watch, you get to help someone else, and that other person gets more subscribers. And then finally, it is just fun to talk about books. That's why we all got into Booktube, right? Because we love talking about books, and we don't have enough people to talk to about books in our daily lives. That's certainly why I started my channel, to build this community that is slowly building around the channel now. And if that's the sort of thing that you want to do too, then the best way to do that, or one of the best ways to do that, is to buddy read books. So just buddy read something every month. That's what I'm doing with Matt. We're buddy reading the whole of the Wheel of Time together. That is 15 books. It's a lot of books. Anyway, if you're a new Booktube channel, I really do hope that this video has helped you, give you some book ideas. A lot of these sound obvious, but I wanted to go through not just the more niche stuff, but I wanted to go through stuff and explain why I think it's important for new channels to do them and why it helped my channel grow. And if you like this video, please give it a like. If you have any other Booktube ideas that you think are great, pop them down in the comments below and help your fellow Booktubers get bigger, to grow this community and to make Booktube the biggest thing on YouTube. And also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you should. I post a lot of really cool videos about fantasy and science fiction, and occasionally I delve into the kind of magic, science, craft of Booktube. So hopefully that's something that you guys might enjoy as well. Goodbye.